Hey, hi all. Good morning. Hope my voice is audible and screen is visible to everyone. Can anyone please confirm?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So welcome to this SQL training course. Today we have the demo class. And as far as my introduction is concerned, myself, Mohammed Tanveer Khan, I have around 13 years of experience working in the IT industry and mostly on the ETL related technologies. And like this is the syllabus which we are going to cover in the SQL course. And time duration will be from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. IST. Hope my screen is visible to everyone.
yes, it is.
Yes. Okay, fine.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So this is the time, Monday to Friday, morning 7 to 9 a.m. IST. And the course duration will be 4 to 5 weeks. So 4 to 5 weeks means it totally depends on the interaction level of the batch. In few batches, if we have a good amount of interaction, so maybe it will extend to 5 weeks. Generally, it takes 4 weeks. Session is purely interactive. You have full freedom to ask question at any point of time. And after the session, we share recording of each and every class. So session will be over by 9, and by 9:30 or 10, you will be having access to the recordings. And then we share assignments on a daily basis. On an average, 10 assignment questions are given, and during the course, you'll be having approx 200 to 250 assignment questions. So the next day, we discuss the assignment questions if you have any doubt. So along with assignment, we share the solution as well, not on the same day, so that if you're working on the assignment and if you need any hint, you can refer the solution. The recording, classroom notes, assignments, so all those things you'll be having lifetime access to this. Okay, so let me show you the format how we take class. So this is like I will show you for the previous batch. ACE 18. Okay. Let me show you for a 17. Yeah. So this is like we have the workbook here. So whatever we will be explaining you, so that will be covered in this workbook. And this workbook will be shared. You could see like we have date wise there 2nd January, 4th January, whatever I cover. So this will be shared in your group. So on a daily basis, we'll be sharing recording, assignments, classroom notes, and this workbook. And this will be lifetime access to you. Okay. Once the course is over, we have a dedicated alumni group where if you have any question, because we know that once you will complete the course and suppose down the line if you're getting stuck somewhere, so we have a dedicated group where you can post your questions and you can ask your queries. Okay. And then we will help you in interview preparation, resume buildings, mock interview. We conduct ad hoc sessions as well. Like suppose someone asked a question in the group and I found that okay, that question is good. So I will take an ad hoc session. And ad hoc session means random session which is not properly scheduled. Means like suppose today someone asked question. So maybe I will plan a session this evening, right? And if you're not able to attend the session, so recording will be uploaded on our YouTube channel. So you can go through that channel as well. So this is the format. So and coming to the database on which we cover, let me show this. So generally we follow Oracle and second Microsoft SQL Server platform. But whatever we will be teaching you, you can run those queries on any platform. Any for platform means Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, MySQL, Netezza, Teradata, Snowflake, and your Postgres as well. There is no restriction. So please don't think that, okay, Tanveer is teaching on this Oracle platform or maybe on the SQL Server, but you have full freedom. Whatever we'll be teaching you, you can uh, apply those concepts on any platform. Okay. Now over to you. Do you have any question?
No. We
No
all good.
question. Good. Okay. Let me show you the syllabus which we will be covering during this course. So this is the syllabus, and this course will start from scratch. There is no prerequisite for it. Okay. Even if you don't know anything about SQL, that is fine. But one suggestion, we strongly recommend you to work on those assignment questions because like SQL is a bread and butter these days in IT industry. You go for any data related job profile. Okay, let me write few of them here. Suppose you're planning for data engineer, you're planning for SQL or ETL developer, or you're planning for, let's say, data analyst, data science field, ETL database tester, business analyst, Power BI, Tableau, or any business intelligence developer. For at least these profiles, you cannot crack interview without SQL. So that's what I'm telling. Like, do we get to keep the recordings? I mean, with the option to download them. Yes, this is getting recorded, and after the session, we will share the recording with you. Don't worry about it. Okay. So these all job profiles, SQL is mandatory. Okay. So that's why, and it's not like in the interview will ask you the ready-made questions or the theoretical questions. They will directly give you a problem statement and you have to write SQL query for it. So net, what I want to highlight here is you have to get your hand dirty working on the assignments. It's very important. Okay. And the session is purely interactive. You have full freedom to ask any question at any point of time. We will never stop you. So now coming to the syllabus, this is the syllabus. As I mentioned that we will be covering from scratch. So you could see like we will teach you how to create table and all those basic stuffs, right? And then we'll be moving with this complicated concepts like recursive CT, pivot, okay, and the other concepts as well. CT expression is there, and each and everything will be covered in detail. This course is of approx 45 to 50 hours duration. Okay. Then you have this comparison operators, this aggregate functions, sum, max, minimum, average. In all these topics, whatever is there, we will having assignments. You have logical operators, you have constraints, different clauses, set operators, independent query. This is the subquery has two parts: independent query and correlated query, joins, window functions, this miscellaneous topics. And apart from this, the set of conceptual questions will be covered during this course. It is almost 36 questions which are generally asked during the interview. Okay. So this is the format. And do you have any question, anyone? And what are your expectations? Can anyone tell me why you're planning to join this course? And feel free, okay, whatever expectations you have, maybe then I'm very much new to this. I'm from non-technical background. I don't have any idea. Please suggest me how to start, something like that. You can ask any question. What is your expectation? Why you want to join this course, SQL training course?
Hi, Mohammed. Hi, Tanvir.
Yeah,
Mohammed Tanvir. Yeah, I'm Pratap.
yeah, Pratap.
Yeah, I joined as I'm working on Power BI and SQL Server developer.
Mhm.
But there are queries like 300, 400 queries. I need to execute by step. I have to
Mhm.
understand that query, like
Mhm.
splitting.
Okay.
That's I need to understand that from basics to advanced. That's why I joined.
Okay, okay, fine. So you mean like you're working and in the current job profile, you have the big queries, maybe 300, 400 lines of codes, and you want to understand how those queries are working, right?
Yeah.
Okay. One thing I want to show here to everyone, you see, like whatever we will cover during this course, okay, each and everything, it's not like we will run the query and we will show you the output. Each and everything, let me show you the example of this. joins. Let's say this is the joins we are trying to understand. So each and everything we will discuss in detail, like how the query is getting executed internally by the SQL engine. If you are getting any output, suppose I executed this query, this is the output. So we'll try to understand how this query is getting executed step by step. So when you will understand this, then it will be easy for you to understand any SQL query. Okay, that how it is getting executed, right? So that's the main intention here. We try to cover each and every concept from the engine perspective, how internally your query is getting executed. And once you will understand that, you can understand any SQL query. So hope that will help you. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm
Is there
getting,
like
oh,
an optimization process in the
yes, yes,
SQL?
yes, yes, yes. That is very important. We'll be
Yeah.
covering performance aspects as well, that how you should write a query, that your query should be optimized. We will discuss few performance techniques as well, right? So we will cover that.
Because I do
Mhm.
have a, like, there is a
Mhm.
performance
Of
issue
course.
on the queries.
Mhm.
That's
Actually, the reason is for the last few years, maybe I can tell 7 to 8 years, performance is an important aspect. Earlier,
yeah.
this was not the scenario. The reason is nowadays, the volume of data is increasing like anything. And when you have huge volume of data, and when you're writing SQL query or any other programming code, so it takes time to execute and fetch the output. So that's why the performance is an important aspect these days. And of course, we'll be covering that during this course.
Sure. Thank you.
No problem. So Kanan is asking in the in the chat that job assistance or job support. So Kanan, like job assistance or job support, like you're working in a project, right? And you executed a query, you're getting stuck somewhere, it is throwing error message, right? So in those cases, you can share the screenshot, like where you're getting struck, or if you have a logic, you're not able to build the logic. So you can share those logics, those questions with us. We have a dedicated alumni group, right? I think few of the participants who have joined this session, they are from my old batch student. They know all those things. So you can post your questions there, but sometime it happens that your expectation is that Tanvir, please explain me the project itself from scratch. So that is difficult actually. Okay. In that case, yes, we have a separate job support. We have a dedicated team who can assist you. But in that case, you have to pay a certain amount. That is a different thing, right? Because sometimes it happens non-technical people, they have joined the IT industry, they have cracked the interview, but at a certain point of time, they're getting struck, right? So in those cases, we provide them job support for 1 month or 2 months. That's a different scenario. Okay. So Mavia is asking to learn new tech and new domain. Of course, Mavia. So SQL, as I told, it's a bread and butter these days in IT industry. Okay, you go for this job profiles or just search this in Naukri.com. You will see that they will be mentioning there in the job description that SQL is a mandatory skill set. But that is why SQL nowadays, if you learn this, this will open doors for a lot of job opportunities. Kavita is saying, I'm new to IT. Of course, Kavita, not an issue. That's why we have designed this course from scratch. We will show you how to create table, what is a table, what are the columns, how to insert data, how to extract data. Okay. So to make you explain understand the concept, that is my responsibility. Okay. From you people, I need a strong dedication. Attend the class regularly, make the session interactive, ask questions. Okay. So even in those cases, the trainer also feel motivated to explain the concept. So if you're from non-technical background, if you're not from the IT background, don't worry about it. That is my responsibility. Okay. And then within 1 week, you will realize that, okay, fine, I'm understanding the stuff. So 2 hours you have to spend for the live class, and my recommendation is after that again spend 2 hours on your own. On your own means work on the assignments, go through the recordings. Okay, if you're getting struck, you can ask question at any point of time. Yes, Mahesh, this is a complete course. Like all the SQL concepts will be covered here, but this doesn't have the concepts of ETL. Many people think that we'll be covering the ETL concepts as well, like what is ETL, what is ELT, what is dimension table, what is fact table, what is star schema, what is snowflake schema. Those things we don't cover in this course. That is a separate course which is known as ETL, because the database is a very big world. It has a lot of things to study. Then PLSQL is there. That also we cover in a separate course. That will not be covered here. Okay. So that's what I'm showing you, the topics which will be covered from the SQL perspective. And this has all the important topics. Okay. Window function is there, joins is there, subquery is there, set operators, the different clauses, constraints, logical operators, aggregate functions. So all this, the topics which are related to SQL is present here.
Hi,
Okay.
Tanu.
Yeah. Hi.
This is Richard. Can we cover the triggers, stored procedures?
No, those are the parts of PL SQL. Functions, procedures, cursors, triggers. So
Okay.
earlier we used to cover, but we found that everything is getting overlapped. So that's why we have segregated. This is purely SQL. PL SQL is a separate batch. ETL is a separate batch. Power BI is separate. Tableau is separate. So we have segregated it. That's why before we start any course, we'll show you the syllabus, that what all things will be covered in the course. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So we are not going to cover the SQL function like sum and the other numeric function, text function, not.
No, that will be covered here.
Okay.
You
Okay.
see, those things will be covered. Those sum, max, minimum, average. No, this
Okay.
comes under
Got it.
aggregate function. This will be covered,
Yeah.
of course. This is an important concept related to SQL. This will be covered for sure.
Right.
Pooja is asking, do we need to create our notes or it will be provided by you? So Pooja, like what all codings we will do here. So all those will be provided. Okay. We will share all those things after the class to you. Okay, you don't have to make a notes, and we strongly recommend our participants to not to make any notes during the class. Okay, means whatever you have, you should share it. Let me show you from see, this is our different groups. You could see my WhatsApp, right? So like I'm showing you for the previous ACE18 batch. So you could see, like, once the batch is over, we will mention here topics covered today, what all topics we have covered on 4th of March. So like this, we will show after each and every class, we will mention like what all topics we have covered. Okay. Like suppose on 29th Feb, we have covered this topic, rank, dense rank, row number, partition by. And this is the notes, 29th February. This all course we have executed during the classroom session. We will share this with you. So you don't have to make a notes of it. And then what all I'll be covering on in the Excel workbook, what I have shared, that will also be shared with you. So all these things will be shared. You don't have to make a notes of it. Hope that is clear. After the class, because I know many people have the habit of preparing their own notes. So after the class, if you think that, okay, you should prepare the notes, that's a good habit. You can work on it. But during the class, what all things I'll be covering in the classroom session, each and everything will be shared with you. Dhyanraj is asking for the syllabus. Sure, Dhyanraj, we will share the syllabus. Once this demo session is over, no, I will share it in the group. Okay. Any other question? Okay, so we're talking about the expectations. So, okay, one expectation is like you have a complex queries you want to understand. Any other expectation? Why you are planning to join this course? Or any other question if you have anyone? Feel free and ask question if you have any. Then I will start. No questions? Okay, fine then. So is 20, your batch name is S20. It's like I have already mentioned, Monday to Friday morning 7 to 9. And so course fees and all those details we have mentioned in the group description. So today is the demo class and it is free and open to all. uh, After going through the demo, if you think that this course is convincing, this will help you, so you can connect with us in the group S20. You could see like the admin I are there. I'm also one of the admin, and then we have Firdaus who takes care of all the operations part. So you can connect with any one of us, and then you can join the course. Okay. Now, final, is there any job assessment? Yes, we have a lot of assignment questions which we'll be sharing with you. I have mentioned earlier. So we'll be sharing on an average 10 assignment questions with you on a daily basis. And at the end of the course, we'll be having approx 250 assignment questions. Let me show you that.
Yeah.
So this
Also, I
SQL.
want to know, like, is it advisable, like, for us to practice or the like go along with you while on the live class, or just watch it? You doing it? I mean, what's the better?
Uh, Sorry, maybe I have not understood your question. You're asking that we should attend a live class or go through the recording. Is that what you're asking?
No, no. Basically, for example, you are doing some query on the Oracle
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
on the live, and should
Mm-hmm.
we like open our
No,
Oracle on our own and
no,
do like simultaneously, or like do
no.
on a like later
I
on while
understood your
recording?
question. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
my strong recommendation is during the class, don't do anything. Okay. Just concentrate on my lecture. No need to practice simultaneously because whatever I'll be covering, whatever code I will write, everything will be shared with you. Because simultaneously, if you will write your code, okay, and if you're getting stuck somewhere, you will get distracted. Once the class is over, everything will be shared with you. You practice on your own. And then if you're getting struck somewhere, you take the screenshot, post that in our group, or the next day, whenever I will start the class. So I will ask you that, okay, do you have any question, the topics, whatever we have covered or from the assignment? So first off, we dedicate for the assignment discussions. And then if you have any question, you can ask for sure. But during the class, my strong recommendation is concentrate on my lecture. Okay.
Sure.
Hope I have answered the question.
Yeah.
And we
Thanks.
will share a lot of assignment questions. You see, these all questions based on each and every topic will be shared with you. And these assignments, we keep on adding new questions here. So those who are from the previous batch, you will see if you might experience some new questions here, right? So, and then we have a lot of questions in the LinkedIn as well, which we have posted, I think more than 100 questions. So those questions as well, we are aggregating it somewhere and we'll share that. So you'll be having a lot of questions to work on. Okay. And all these questions will be having complexity like medium to hard. Few questions are simple, but most of the questions will be medium to hard. I can give you a guarantee here if you're able to cover all my assignment questions, it's more than enough for you. Okay, because I'm working in this IT field and currently as well I'm working. It's not like I'm a full-time trainer because I believe that if I'm working in a project and then if I will teach someone, so I will be able to give you the real-time project flavors as well, right? So the questions which you will find in all these assignments are based on my real-time projects on which I have worked, right? So you will experience all those things. And those who are following me on my LinkedIn page, you might have seen that I used to post questions. Some are tough questions, some are medium questions. Yesterday as well, we had a discussion in our group about recursive CT, and we'll upload that recording today on the LinkedIn page. Now, this is all about the platform and the process how we teach. Shall I start now?
Tanvir,
Yeah,
yeah,
please go
just
ahead.
last question.
Hmm.
Like, for example, if someone wants to get into data and analysis field,
Huh.
so this course is like end-to-end for that. I mean, it
See,
covers the syllabus for data
good,
analytics, especially. Yeah,
good question.
not the
So,
ETL or the another one. Yeah.
okay. So for data analytics, first of all, let's try to understand like what are the modules needed. If you're going for data analytics, first of all, they will ask you question from SQL. More than 50% weightage will be given to SQL. Then they can ask you question from Python and then Power BI or Tableau, okay, and then advanced Excel. And data analytics, it's having a good scope these days, right? And the market will boom in another 2 to 3 months like anything. So be ready for that. In data analytics, generally the interviewers, they will ask you questions from these four modules. The first one is SQL. More than 50% question will be from SQL. Then Python, Power BI, and advanced Excel. Either they can ask you from Power BI or Tableau, anyone. Okay, and then advanced Excel. So you have to work on these four modules. If someone is from non-technical background, because we have a separate course for data analytics as well. So this SQL which I'll be covering, so this will cover you the first module of data analytics. But if your question is that then if I'm able to complete the SQL, so do you think I'm ready for the data analytics job profile? No, Because for
Yeah,
data
basically
analytics,
my question is
hmm,
regarding the first one only. Like the
this
SQL
will be
course which you
sufficient.
will cover is enough for data
Correct,
analytics.
correct,
Yeah,
correct. For
that's
data
all.
analytics, this will be sufficient. And then you have to go for this other modules as well. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, Someone is asking after the course, can we get jobs? Sorry, I cannot give any guarantee for a job. Okay, but yes, one guarantee I can give you, what all SQL questions, the concepts I'll be covering, and if you will attain interview, so that will be more than enough. This guarantee I can give you because we have many examples, non-technical people, technical people, they have cracked job interviews related to data analytics, data engineering, business analysts, and many of the job profiles. We have many examples. If you want, you can check our YouTube channel as well. Many folks who has completed, we have taken their sessions, like what all questions were asked. The highest package from our academy so far is 75 LPA. And then again, we have many other examples. Okay, but to be very straightforward, we don't give any guarantee for job. We will help you. Like if there is any opening, we will share the opening with you. So when you will refer, so the best part is like your resume will be directly routed to the HR, because in our alumni group, we have many HR, the recruitment team, delivery managers. So whenever they have any opening, they used to post in the group. Okay, so that's what we can help you there. And like suppose if you want us to help you with the resume building, we will help you for that. And these all are free of cost services. And then if you want to attend mock interview, that then we tomorrow I have an interview. Can you take a mock interview? So we'll schedule a mock interview for you. Okay. Any other question?
Tanvir, what are the charges for mock interviews?
No, no. See, the only we charge you for SQL. Okay. Apart from SQL course fees, what you have to pay, you will become a part of our academy. Let me show you that. This is the group. This is our alumni group. You could see all the participants of the previous batch are present here. So yesterday, you see, we had a discussion on a particular question, and we have discussed about it. So once you're a part of our academy, after that, if you're getting struck anywhere, anywhere means in SQL queries, or you are getting struck in the resume building, or suppose you need assistance in the mock interview. Okay, so all these things are free of cost service provided by this. But sometimes what happens, you have an interview today and you will call us today that then we please help me in that resume building and all those things. So even we need some time. So at least keep us informed at least 1 or 2 days before. Okay, so that we can allocate some bandwidth and we can help you. But these all services will be free of cost. We're not charging. And why I'm telling this on air, because even I know like today a few participants are from my previous batches as well, so they all know this how we take the classes. Okay, any other question? Oh,
Tanvir,
hmm.
will you walk us through how to install Oracle?
Everything will be shared with you, don't
Okay.
worry about it. This is our responsibility. uh and I will request everyone, this oracle on which I'm okay, very important question you have asked. Let me cover this first of all. I know many of you will be having this concern that Tanvir, you are teaching on Oracle platform, and for this we have to install it. So Tanvir, I have my official laptop, and in that laptop, the company will not allow us to download this Oracle, right? If you're working in official laptop, right? So what I will recommend you is no need to download anything, and better I will recommend this to everyone. No need to download anything. Just type here Oracle Live SQL. You could see this one, no? Oracle Live SQL. Just type this here. This is a browser based. Even if you're working in official laptop or you have personal laptop, you can use it anywhere, right? And again, the best part is sometimes like you are working in office and you have some bandwidth, so you can start executing queries there. So click on this Oracle Live SQL. This will ask you to create your account. Okay. So then click on the start coding. Then here it will ask you to create account. Click on the create account, and all those things are getting recorded. Please don't make a note of anything. We will share this recording after the class to you. Okay. Then you have to give your email address. You have to set your password here. You have to retype the password. This is a basic form. Country name, your name, the job title. You can write anything here. They're not going to check it. Work phone, you can keep it NA or something dummy number you can write here. If you don't want to write your company name, you can write anything here. Address, you can write anything here. Okay, and all those things. Once you will create an account, so an email will be triggered in your inbox, and then you have to approve it, and then your account will be created. And the next time when you're trying to sign in, you have to give your username and password. You'll be able to sign in here. Is that clear?
Yeah, and if I have SQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server, can I work on that instead of
Yes,
Oracle one?
yes, 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 yes. Full freedom. I've told her in the beginning itself, you can practice anywhere. Okay, huh? But what happens? I think approx 1% syntax difference will be there. That will be covering during the course. You don't worry about it. Okay. But my recommendation to everyone is because you are just starting to learn this, start working on Oracle. After 1 or 2 weeks, when you're comfortable with the basic SQL commands, the syntax, then you can explore anywhere. Okay. But again, if you think that no, Tanvir, I want to start from SQL Server only, your wish, you can start from there as well. It will work. Okay. I think it is taking time. So hope you understood how to log into this Oracle Live SQL. Click on the start coding, and after that you have to give your username and password. Let me check this one. Okay, if you're getting this message, your session has ended. So what you have to do, you have to close the browser, close everything. Okay, then start again. Oracle Live SQL. Session has ended. Sign in to get in the session. Let me check here. Okay, let me open on Chrome then. Maybe on Edge it is throwing error message. Oracle SQL. Let me check with my another ID. Okay, yeah. So this is the platform. Here you can also execute the SQL queries. So my recommendation is because you're just starting it, so you can work on this as well. So this and this platform are one and the same. This has few more features. Okay. Now we have recorded a session like how to install this Oracle. Now listen very carefully. If you are planning that, no, Tanvir, I want to install this Oracle SQL Developer. Okay, so this is little bit complex task. Listen very carefully, guys. Why I'm telling complex task? The problem here with this Oracle SQL Developer is, suppose you are installing it, okay, and if it will fail at certain point of time, or if you're not following this step by step, I have mentioned the step by step process how to install it. It's in my own YouTube channel. I will share the recording link in the S20 generic group. Those who are interested, they can download it from there. But the problem with this Oracle SQL Developer is if you're installing it and suppose you miss any step, or suppose the naming convention which you are given is not correct, then what will happen? The installation will fail. And if you will try to install again, it will never install. Then what you have to do, you have to reinstall the operating system. That's a very tedious task. And then again, you have to install it. So that is why I'm alarming everyone. If you're planning to install this Oracle SQL Developer, we have a recording of it on my YouTube channel. We will share that with you. Please follow each and every step one by one. and then try to install this. Okay, hope this is clear. And for
Also,
Microsoft SQL Server, it is very simple. Okay, it will hardly take 5 to 10 minutes. For this as well, I will create a recording, and I think we have that in our YouTube page, but I will create that one and I will share that link as well in the group. Okay, so just go through that, follow step by step, and you can install it, whatever you want.
yeah, while explaining the data analytics, you were saying something about non-tech people or the field. You were saying something.
I was telling like if someone is from the non-technical field, so it takes approx 5 to 6 months for them to complete these 4 modules. Okay, and
Okay,
we
got
have a
it.
complete package for data analytics as well. So we are planning to start an end-to-end ETL project on this. Okay, maybe in the month of April.
Okay.
Okay, so fine then. I think we should start now. And meanwhile, if you have any question, please feel free and ask.
Hi,
So,
excuse me. I just joined you guys right now, so I'm kind
hmm,
of confused. I'm seeing Tableau, Power BI, and the rest. So, what are we gonna? Is it part of the course content?
no, I was explaining that if someone is preparing for data analytics job profile, so these 4 modules are asked during the interview. Okay, they can ask you question from SQL, then Python, then Power BI or Tableau, and then advanced Excel. Okay, but in this course, we'll be covering SQL only. If anyone is under the impression that what just covering the SQL course, they'll be ready for data analytics job. So no, that's not the scenario. Apart from SQL, you have to prepare for these 3 modules as well. Here we'll be working only on SQL in this course. Hope that's clear.
Okay.
Okay, good. Okay,
So
now,
you'll be teaching, you'll be leveraging Oracle and SQL Server.
yes, Oracle and SQL Server. But again, suppose I know many of you might be working on Postgres, DBWare, right? So the queries what I'll be covering during the course, so you can execute those queries on Postgres as well. Any platform, let's say Netezza, Teradata, MySQL, everywhere this is applicable. We have full freedom to execute the query anywhere. 1% syntax difference will be there. That we will teach you during the course. Don't worry about it. Okay. Now, why SQL? Can anyone tell me that why this is in huge demand in the IT industries these days? What is the reason? Any idea, anyone? Just a guess. Don't worry. I'm not asking that I want an exact answer. It's not an interview I'm taking. Whatever is coming to your thought, you share with me. Tell us, like, what do you think?
I believe because of the speed.
Because of his speed, okay. Any other thought, anyone? Okay, see.
Also
Hmm.
simplicity of the language. Like for example, it is like
Hmm.
similar to English. So like more
Okay.
simpler than any other
Hmm.
language like Python, or there's no
Hmm.
uh, case sensitivity. That's why I believe simplicity of the language also.
Okay. Okay.
It's not licensed actually. You can
It's
use it.
not licensed. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Fine. Good. Any other thought, anyone? Why SQL is in huge demand these days in IT industry? Okay. See. Okay. Before I will answer these questions, few folks are asking questions in the chat box. The question is, my job is from 10 a.m. Can I watch recorded video? Of course, I have mentioned in the beginning itself that once the class will be over at 9 a.m. within 30 minutes or 1 hour. So we will share the recording, and the recording will be automatically uploaded. Okay, you don't have to ask anyone for the recording. But for today's and tomorrow's class, the recording will be uploaded on YouTube channel. But from Monday, we have a Graphy platform. There we will take the class. We will explain you the process and all those things about it. So yes, suppose you miss class on a particular day, so you can go through the recording, and suppose while going through the recording you are struck somewhere, you need some clarification, some support, you can connect with me. I will try to help you out. Okay. Okay, fine. Now, why SQL? SQL stands for Structured Query Language, and it is in the IT industry for almost last 45 years and it's still ruling. Why? The reason is, I will give you a very simple example. Okay, let's take the example of Amazon. Why I'm taking Amazon example because we all are aware of it, and I think each one of us has bought something from Amazon platform, right? Let's say Amazon, they want to understand how the business is performing. So they will ask question like, okay, tell me the total revenue month in the year 2023, or tell me the total profit. Tell me how much we have earned just by selling mobile phones. Tell me how much we have earned just by selling a sports articles, right, or products. So if the stakeholders, or if the owner of Amazon or the CTO or the product owner, anyone, if they want this kind of data, so uh, it means you have to play with the numbers, right? You need data, and from those data you have to do some calculations, and then you can give that picture that okay, in 2023 in January this was the total profit in this department. In 2023 in month of February this was a total revenue from these departments in these locations, right? So for that, you need a language which should quickly give you these numbers. So that is why SQL is in huge demand these days in the IT industry, because each and every company, they want to understand how the business is performing, right? Now for that, they need someone who has a good expertise on SQL, and with the help of SQL, they can fetch that data, they can extract the data, which is helpful for any business owner to understand how the business is performing, right? So like suppose take the example of our academy. If I want to understand like what is the total revenue from SQL batch, from Python batch, from Power BI, from Tableau, from advanced Excel, from data analytics. So what I have to do? I have to first of all gather data. How many students has joined a course? What is the fees, right? Then I have to do some calculations, and then I have to prepare some report, right? So that's the reason nowadays in each and every company, in each and every business, they have a lot of data, and they need someone who has a good expertise in SQL, so that he or she should manage the data and fetch the information what the business stakeholders are looking for. And that feature is present in SQL language. SQL, that's why SQL is not a programming language. This is a query language, because with the help of SQL, you can store data, you can process data, you can manipulate data, you can extract the data whatever you want quickly in fraction of seconds. Okay, so that's the reason. And you might have heard that data is a new oil. Nowadays in the IT industry, the data is the new oil. Okay, and and the SQL is the one language which can help you to play with the data. That's why this is like a bread and butter in the IT industry these days. And if you have a strong hold on SQL, it will open your doors for a lot of job opportunities. Okay. Now, so this is about little bit about SQL. It stands for a structured query language. Structured query language. Now, there is a story behind it that why it is known as structured query language. Maybe down the line, we will discuss on it. Okay. One thing, during this course, my main focus will be on the hands-on part. Okay. So that's what I will pick a topic and immediately I will show you some queries on it, some codes on it. Okay. Because SQL is purely hands-on stuff. Now, the one thing, suppose in the world of SQL or database, if you have some data, let's say, uh, if I'm taking the example of Amazon only, let's take the example of Amazon. Okay. So in Amazon, you can have different departments, right? Let's say you have a sports department, you have then electronics, then what else? Sports, electronics, then what else you can take here? Textile. Okay, not textile, let's take clothing. Okay. So in Amazon, suppose we have this 3 departments: sports, electronics, and clothing. And means if you will open the Amazon app, you will see that we'll be having the products from all these categories. Okay, you can tell them as a categories or departments. Let me tell them categories. Okay. Now, suppose the transaction amount. The total transaction amount from a sports is, let's say, 5,000. I'm just checking some dummy numbers here. Electronics is 6,000. Clothing is 3,000. Okay. And let's add a new column here. Location. Suppose this is from Delhi. This is from Bangalore. And this is from Chennai. Okay. And this is the rate. I'm taking very simple example. Okay. So here I'm showing you that for the Amazon application, I'm showing the categories, the transaction amount, and location. Whenever you have any data, okay, I'm taking the example of Amazon. Let's say you have customer data, you have employee data, you have your sales data, okay, any other data. So you need to save it somewhere, correct? You need to save it somewhere. A very simple example is a mobile phone, right? When you're purchasing a mobile phone, you're looking for that how much space it has: 128 GB, 256 GB. Why? Because you want that it should have good memory so that you can save more contacts, you should save more videos and images and other documents, right? So likewise, when you have business transactions, you need to save it somewhere. So, and generally we save it in this format. Now, this is known as table. In the world of database, this is known as table. So this will be an Amazon table. So I can tell that this is my Amazon table. And you have full freedom. You can write any name for a table. I have written here Amazon table. If you want, you can write this table as a customer table or any other thing. Okay. So let's say this is an Amazon table. In this Amazon table, I am storing the information like categories. I have the transaction amount. I have the location. You can ask a question that then can we add the customer details as well? Yes, you can create a new column here: customer name and the customer mobile number, your email ID, gender. So what all informations you want, you can keep on adding here. So this is an example of table. Now in this, you could see like categories is there, transaction amount, and location. So these three are known as columns. Okay, these are known as columns. These are also known as fields, or these are also known as attributes, but generally we call them as columns. So if someone will ask you that in this Amazon table, what all columns you have? So we have 3 columns, and those are categories, transaction amount, and location. And there is no restriction on the number of columns in a table. In a table, you can have 50 columns as well. You can have 100 columns as well. There is no restriction on it. Okay. Even you can create a table with only 1 column. That is also allowed. That comes generally in the case of lookup. Okay. So that is also allowed. So here so far I've explained you that this is an Amazon table. Now I have a question here. Why we need table? What is the purpose of table here? Can anyone answer this?
Basically, 2 points. First one is to make a relational database so that we can relate this table to another table if it is related. And second, to perform aggregation easily.
Those are very heavy technical terms you bombarded. I don't want to go into that detail now, relational databases and all those things, but correct. Your answer is right. But because I'm starting from scratch, so I'm getting background noise. So because I'm starting from scratch, so I will not start explaining those concepts now. In a very layman term, a table is something where you can store data, and it is very similar to like our house, right? So we need a house to live, to stay, right? Similarly, we need a table where we can store data. So if someone will ask you what's a table, so you can tell table is something where we can store data. And here the table is Amazon. Is this clear? Any questions so far? No. Now in this table, we have three columns: categories, transaction amount, and location. The number of columns, there is no restriction on it. You can create a table with any number of columns. To keep the thing simple, I have just taken three columns here: categories, transaction amount, and location. Okay. Now within this table, Amazon, I have this record. This is known as one record. So here the category is sports, transaction amount is 5,000, and this was from daily location. Then this is second record. This is third record. So this is known as record, and it is also known as rows. This is first row. This is second row. This is third row. Hope this is clear. And again, in a table, you can have any number of rows. There is no restriction on it. In this table right now, I have 3 rows, but I can add 1 million rows as well. That is also allowed. I can add 20 million rows as well. That is also allowed. Let's assume the number of transactions happening on Amazon app on a daily basis. Can you imagine it? Right? I think millions of transactions are happening on the Amazon on a daily basis. And if you take the festive seasons, especially during the Diwali, right? A lot of transactions are happening. Or let's take the example of YouTube. How many videos are getting uploaded on a daily basis, right? Or take the example of Twitter. How many tweets the users are posting on a daily basis, right? So that's why there's no restriction on the number of records which you can store in a table. Is this clear so far? Any question? Okay. So far we have discussed about table. Table is something where you can store or save your business transactions or data. Then we have discussed about columns. These are known as columns. So here I have shown you 3 columns, but you can have any number of columns. There is no restriction on it. And then these all are the different records. Like this is one record, this is second record, and then you have this one as a third record. Similarly, if suppose I'm talking about an employee table, suppose I'm managing the database of a particular company, right? So here you can have the employee ID. You can have a column employee name. You can have a column location. You can have a column gender. You can have a column salary, right? So what is the name of this table? Employee.
Employee.
Good. And what are columns you have in this table? Employee ID, employee name, location, gender, salary. Getting background noise. Someone with the name Oppo. I think you're trying to speak, but we are getting noise at your end. So maybe you can check your headphone. So now in this employee table, how many columns we have? We have 5 columns. So that's what I want to explain you here. There is no restriction on the number of columns in a table. You can have any number of columns. Okay. And suppose here the data is employee ID 1. The employee name is John. And suppose he is from Delhi. Gender is male. Salary is 5,000. Similarly, you can add a new record 2. My name is Tom. He's from Bangalore. And gender is male, salary is 2,000. So now in this employee table, how many records you have?
2.
2 records. Okay, is the font visible to everyone clearly, or you want me to increase the font?
It's visible.
It is visible. Fine.
Okay, perfect. So far we have discussed about table, the columns, and the records. Now the question is, That okay, fine. Then we're here. You have this Amazon table. You have created this on an Excel sheet. But how to create this in a database, right? So now I will show you that how we can create this Amazon table on a database. So you can try either on this Oracle SQL developer, or I have shown you here this as well, the live Oracle live SQL. You can practice here as well. Anywhere you can practice your wish. The queries, whatever I will explain you, it will run on both the platforms. So maybe I will show you on both the platforms now. Now, coming to the database part. So here, what is the table name? Amazon, right? Okay. Before that, let me write something, and I will request everyone to please ignore it. Don't try to understand what I'm doing here. Please ignore this one, okay? Okay, now, create table. Whenever you want to create any table in the database, the first of all, you have to write create and then table. The meaning of this is you are telling SQL engine that I want to create a table, okay? During this course, I'll be explaining the meaning of each and every keyword. And then I'll be teaching you about the misconceptions as well. A lot of misconceptions in the SQL. Now, create table. Then the engine will ask you that, okay, fine, what is the name of the table which you want to create? So what's the name of the table which you want to create here?
Well, Amazon.
It's Amazon, right? So then I have to write here Amazon. Done. So from these three words, the SQL engine will understand that, oh, user wants to create a table with the name Amazon. Okay. Now, tell me one thing. Suppose you want to construct a house. So you will contact with a designer or the architect, right? You will tell him that, okay, I have, let's say, 2000 square feet of area. I want to construct a house. After that, what you will tell him, or you will just stop there that, okay, I want to construct a house. That's all. Or will you tell him something
Basically,
else?
first the map or the structure of the house,
Hmm. Okay. Anyone else?
and then the foundation will be laid down.
Okay.
Basic.
Anyone else?
We would tell how many rooms do we want in
Perfect. Perfect. You
in
will tell your requirements. No, you will tell your requirements to that architect that, hey, I have this 2000 square feet of land. In that, I want, let's say, 3 bedrooms of maybe size 15 by 10 feet. I want a big balcony. I want a dining room. I want a study room. I want a guest room. I want a terrace, right? So you will give this all this the specifications of it, right? And then as per your requirement, the architect will design and it will show that to you, right? Similarly, if you will just tell that I want to create a table Amazon, so you're not telling the columns what you want. So then you have to mention here within bracket what all columns you want in this Amazon table. Okay. So here what all columns we have mentioned: categories, transaction amount, and location. So then we will write here categories, then transaction amount, and location. Okay. These all things you have to mention here and then give semicolon at the end. Fine. Now, from this line, your SQL engine will understand that user wants to create a table Amazon, and within this table, user wants these 3 columns: categories, transaction amount, and location. Now, you might be thinking here that then you have written this categories in lowercase, transaction amount in lowercase, location in lowercase, but in Amazon, A is in uppercase. There is no such rule. You can write this Amazon A in lowercase as well. You can write this table name all in uppercase as well. You have full freedom. This column names, categories, transaction amount, location, I've written everything in lowercase. You can write all of them in uppercase. You have full freedom. Okay. Is this clear so far? Now, after this, let's say,
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. It's case sensitive.
No, that is what I'm telling. SQL is not case sensitive with table name, with column name. SQL is case sensitive with data. That we will study today after some time. Okay. But as far as this table name is concerned, this column names are concerned, it is not case sensitive. You can write this in any case, lowercase, uppercase, camel case, proper case, any case you can write. It will, the SQL will never bother you. And this is the best part I like in SQL as compared to other programming languages like Python or any other language. SQL will never bother you with indentation, the spaces, the cases. In SQL, you have to be strong in the logic building ability. That's all. Okay. And that will come with practice. Any questions so far? Please feel free and ask if you have any question. No question. Shall I proceed further? Okay.
Basically, the sensitivity is not in the structure, but in the data, what data we are filling. That's
Correct.
right.
It is case sensitive with the data that I will show you. We will cover it today. Okay. In all my demo class, first of all, I cover that case sensitive part. So likewise, we will cover it in your batch as well today. Okay. Okay. Now, now suppose if you are throwing a party. Okay. So you will invite your guests, your friends, your relatives. In those cases, it's not like you will make arrangement only for vegetarian or only for non-vegetarian, right? You have to understand the taste of your guest and accordingly you will do the arrangements, right? Maybe you will be having some vegetarian counter, non-vegetarian counters, continental will be there, right? So you have to understand the taste of your guest and accordingly you have to do the preparation or the arrangements, correct? Similarly, in these columns, you have to store data, correct? That's what I have shown you here. In categories, you see I'm storing some data. In transaction amount, I'm storing some data. In location, I'm storing some data, correct? So now here you have to inform to the SQL engine the type of data which you want to store here. And this is exactly same when you are planning for a party and you have invited your guests. So you have to understand their taste as well. It's not like you will keep non-veg for everyone. It's not necessary that everyone will prefer non-veg, right? So you have to understand the taste of your guest and accordingly you have to make the arrangement, right? Similarly, you have mentioned that I want these 3 columns in this Amazon table, but at the same time, you have to mention that what type of data you are going to store in these columns. Okay. So if you're considering the example of this categories column, so in this categories, what we have stored, these all are alphabets, correct? No, these all are alphabets. Sports, what is S? Alphabet. What is P? Alphabet, right? Intentionally, I'm not talking and not discussing about strings and all those things because I know many participants are from the non-technical background. I will start bombarding you with those strings and all those technical concepts. Maybe you will get confused. That's why today I'm planning to cover each and everything in the layman term. Okay. So this categories column has alphabets. So now listen carefully. In a column, if you have to store a data which is alphabets, so for those columns, you have to mark here varchar and you have to give 50. You might be thinking why I have written this varchar and why I have written 50. The reason is this is known as data type. We will take a separate class down the line on data types. So don't think that Tanvir is teaching data type to us. No, I'm not teaching data type now. Data type will be covered separately. It's a big topic. Okay. I will cover here the data type which is just needed here to show you how to create table. Now the question is, what is the data type? Whenever you create a table and you have the columns, so there you have to mention the data type for each and every column. If anyone is from Python background, in Python you don't have this, right? You don't have to mention the data type. So Python has that feature, it will understand the data type, right? It is intelligent there. But in SQL, you have to mention, like in categories, I have written here varchar 50. So the SQL engine will understand that, oh, the user wants to save alphabets in this categories column. 50 means the maximum length or maximum character which you can store. You might be thinking, why 50, Tanvir? Can you write 100? Yes, sir, you can write 100 as well. You might be thinking, can you write 10? You can write 10 as well, your wish. But I recommend write 50 so that it can store maximum 50 characters. If you have to store 100 characters, you can write 100 here. Okay. Hope this is clear. So in a column, if you have to store alphabets, the data type will be varchar 50. Varchar stands for variable character. Any
Basically,
question?
the 50 is basically count of character. A
Yes, count
particular
of characters.
where
Yes.
particular variable is storing. Okay.
Yes, yes, right. Count of characters. Okay, now the next is transaction amount. In transaction amount column, what you are storing?
Integer
Integers or numbers, right?
or numbers.
Yeah.
Correct. So in a column, if you have to store integers or numbers, then the data type will be int. Int stands for integer. In few databases, you will see it will be mentioned as a number. So you can write anything. Either you can write int or you can write number. You have full freedom. I prefer writing int. Okay. Now you guys tell me in location column, what will be the data type of this location column?
Varchar 50.
Varchar. Got it? So net, I have just explained you that in a column, if you want to store alphabets, the data type you have to write as varchar 50. In a column, if you have to store numbers or integers, the data type will be int. But please, I'm repeating it here. Don't think that Tanvir is teaching us data type. No, I'm not teaching data type. I have just covered here varchar and int because right now I'm showing you how to create a table. Directly, if I will write varchar here and if I will not explain you what is this, you will not understand, you will get confused. We have many other data type. We have varchar, we have varchar2, we have char, we have integer, we have number, we have float, we have decimal, we have date, we have timestamp. Many others are there, which we'll discuss down the line. Okay. So far, this line number 1 is clear to everyone? Yes or no? If it is not clear, please ask question if you have any.
Yes, clear.
Clear? Okay. So far in this line number 1, we are telling SQL engine that I want to create an Amazon table. And in this table, I'm telling SQL engine that I want a categories column with the data type varchar 50. I want a transaction amount column with the data type integer. I want a location column with the data type varchar 50. That's all. Now you have to select it and click on this. You could see here this green color button. No, this is visible to everyone, right? You have to click on this. So now you could see it is written here, table Amazon created. So this table has been created. Now, same thing I will show you on this Oracle Live SQL, this one. There is one demerit of this Oracle Live SQL, the browser version. If you will keep it idle for more than 10 to 15 minutes, it will log out. So maybe if I will run this, I'm not sure if it is still login. So if it will log out, again, you have to log in. So same code you see I've pasted here. Now the run button is present on the right side here. You could see this green color button on the run. You click on this. Table is created. That is what I told you, the same syntax. So you can practice either on like a live SQL.
Can you show that on SQL Server as well?
Okay, let me
Microsoft.
let me cover a few more things, then I will come to that. Okay, or else let me show you directly here. Now this is SQL Server. Okay, let me increase the font of it. Just a minute. I think font is very small now. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now this is on the SQL Server. One thing someone asked the question that Tanvir, what is the difference? You have Oracle, you have Microsoft SQL Server. There is no difference as such. The internal architecture is a little bit different. It's exactly same like you have a car of a Honda company, Hyundai, you have BMW, you have Mercedes, you have Audi, you have Tata, right? So how the car means the means if you have to drive a car, the process is same. The clutch, brake, and accelerator combination you have to use, right? In different models, the companies, the dashboard can be different, right? So that is what the different databases. Oracle SQL developer. This is from the Oracle. This is from the Oracle vendor. Microsoft SQL Server. This is from the Microsoft. Then you have Postgres. That is open source. Okay, it is just the different vendors. Otherwise, they all will do the same task. Now I will show you the same query. Okay, I'm executing on this Microsoft SQL Server. So here you have this execute button. You could see here. Click on this. Commands completed successfully. It means this table Amazon has been created on this SQL Server as well.
Is there any shortcut key also in SQL Server to run the
It
query?
is, I think F5 is there. Yes, F5.
Okay,
It is throwing error message now. The reason is already you have created a table. If you'll try to create the table again, it will throw error message. That's why it is throwing error message. Okay, so don't get confused with this.
Okay, got it. And also you mentioned that PostGrid is open source. What does it mean basically? In
Uh,
layman terms.
so there is a database like I'm showing you for Oracle. No, similarly you have Postgres. Let me show this. Postgres DB. If you will Google it, no, you will get this. This is an open source. You can directly download it and you can run your queries there as well. Nowadays, many companies they are.
But I mean, what it means by open source, because we can do the same in SQL Server as well.
Let me complete, sir. Let me
Okay,
complete.
okay.
This Oracle platform, what you are seeing here, no, this is also open source, but this is not having all the features. This Oracle vendor has given us for the trial purpose. Okay. If you're working in the company, so in your company, the Oracle, what Oracle database you have, so they're paying for it. And then the Oracle will give all the features like many open source AI, like if you will see the example of ChatGPT. Okay.
Okay.
So ChatGPT 3.5, that is open source. It means anyone can create an account and you can use
Freely
it, right?
available in short.
Freely available, right? If you want to go for ChatGPT 4, right? So then there you have to pay for it, correct? You have to pay for it, like 2000 they take for per month, something like that you have to pay, and then you can use it, right? So that's what this Oracle, what I'm showing you, this is a trial version, open source, but the license version comes with a fees. But in Postgres, this is not the scenario. This is all, everything is open source only, means it is freely available. Even those who are working in this, even if you have this in your official laptop or in your office, they're using it. This is free there as well. That's the reason many companies these days, they are using Postgres DB1.
And the SQL Server is also
This
like
is,
open
you
source.
have to pay for this. No, this what I have installed, this is a free version. Okay,
got
but
it.
in your project, in your office, if you have this, so they must have paid some fees to the Microsoft.
Okay, got it.
Okay, yeah. Perfect. So far we have created a table, we have the columns. Now, next is the table you have created. What else? Next, we have to insert data. You have to save data. Why we created table? Because we want to save data, right? So now I will show you how you can insert or save data in this table. So for that, and again, one thing, don't think that this create table syntax is over. We have many other examples in this. Like in this, you can add a primary key, you can add a foreign key, you can have an integrity constraint, you can have other check constraints. Okay, so I'm not covering those stuff as of now. We'll discuss it down the line one by one. So far we have seen how to create a table, right? The next is how to save data in this table. To save data in a table, you have to write insert into. The moment you will write insert into, the SQL engine will understand that the user wants to insert or save data in a table. Then the SQL engine will ask you that in which table you want to insert data, because in a database you can have thousands of tables. So then you have to mention Amazon, like exactly same, like suppose you want to buy something from Amazon or Flipkart. So you have to give the complete address, right? Similarly, I'm giving the address here that I want to insert some record in this Amazon table. Okay. Then you have to write values here. Values means you are telling SQL engine what all value or what all data you want to save. Okay. So suppose the first one is categories. What you have mentioned in categories is sports. Now listen very carefully here. You cannot write a sports directly. It will throw error message. You have to keep it within quotes. Then you have to write it. So if a column you have marked as a varchar, and in this column, if you want to save something, something means the data, you have to keep it within quotes. You see, I have written quotes here. If you will not give this inverted quotes, it will throw error message. Is this point clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the next is transaction amount. So let's say transaction amount is 5,000 here. So then you have to give comma and you write 5,000. Now this transaction amount is int integer. No need to keep it within quotes. You see, I have not written and I have not given any quotes here. Then next is location. So what is the location here? Daily. So you have to keep this. So location also the data type is varchar. So you have to keep this as well in quotes. Then you have to give semicolon at the end. Select it and click on this run button. So one row inserted. Is this clear? Any question? So this is a simple syntax how to save a record in a table. Any questions so far? Okay, I need a quick feedback. I'm not sure like you guys are able to understand or not.
Yes.
Yes, we could.
Okay, okay, a quick feedback. I'm getting back. Okay. Do you think I'm going fast or is it fine? What about pace?
So insert each row manually.
Pooja, can you repeat your question?
Do we have to insert each row manually one
Good
by one?
question. So Pooja is asking question that, okay, fine. Tanvir, you have shown here that this one record you inserted in this Amazon table. That is fine. But suppose if we have 1 million transactions, so do you think we have to insert each and every transaction one by one? No, of course, no. It will become a very tedious task. In those cases, we have a concept of data loader. Through that, we can, means you keep the data in an Excel sheet. The data loader, in that you have to write some Python codes in, along with SQL code and maybe Unix scripts as well. That will automatically extract the data from the file and it will load that in a table. If you want, I will show you down the line how you can use that loader. So in the real world, you don't have to write each and every insert script manually for the 1 million record. Why I'm teaching this? Because sometimes you have to manually insert data. You are doing some analysis and you want to do some analysis for some 10 records. So in those cases, you have to manually insert the data. So in those cases, this is the syntax to insert data. Hope I answered the question, Pooja. Okay. So I was asking a feedback about pace. So, so do you think I'm going too slow or too fast, or is it fine so that I
I
can
think
modify
it is
accordingly?
optimum.
Okay. Any other thought? Shall I increase the pace or shall I decrease the pace, or is it okay? Guys, please let me know.
I think the pace is okay for me.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, it's okay for me also.
Okay, I'll continue the same. So now we have created an Amazon table, we have inserted data. Now the question is, you might be thinking, okay, Tanvir, you have created the table, you have inserted the data, but what is the proof? How we trusted that data has been inserted? Okay. So now I have to show you the data. So whenever you want the database to display that data, for that we have the select keyword, and no need to mug up anything. What I'm covering here, all those things will be covered minimum 500 times in this course. So no need to mug up anything in this course. Okay, everything you have to understand logically. So whenever you want to display some data, you have to write select. Select means to display the data. Now, you want to display categories, transaction amount, and location. So you have to write here categories, then transaction amount, and then location. So if you will write this select categories, transaction amount, comma, location. So engine will understand that, oh, user wants me to display these columns. But you have to tell to the SQL engine that from which table you want these columns. Then you have to write from Amazon. Now, if you will run this query, so the meaning of this query is you are telling SQL engine that please display categories, column data, transaction amount, column data, location, column data from this Amazon table. Then click on this run button. Now, do you think this is the correct output? This is what we have inserted right now. It is
Yes,
displayed
it
here.
is.
So,
Yes.
okay, so this proves that this data has been saved in the database. Okay. Now, similarly, if you want to store few more records, so just copy this insert statement and you write, now suppose the next one is, what is the next record here? Electronics 6000 Bangalore. So you write here electronics 6000 Bangalore. So then you execute this statement. Again, it is not necessary that this has to be executed immediately after this insert. You can execute it anywhere. See, I will execute it here. Run this. Again, one row is inserted. Again, if you want to verify whether this record has been inserted or not, you run this query again. Select categories, transaction amount, comma, location from Amazon. It means you are telling SQL engine, show me all the records in this categories column, transaction amount column, and the location column from the Amazon table. Check the output. Do you think this is correct output?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Hope it is clear so far to everyone. See,
Yep.
I'm
It is.
Yes.
trying to explain the concepts from the very scratch. Okay, so still if you think that something is not clear, you have full freedom and you should ask question. Now the next record is clothing 3000 Chennai. So let me insert a new record. Clothing. Someone is asking question. Pooja, are you
Yeah.
asking question?
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Ba Basically, if we do some sort of insert or any query in a Microsoft SQL Server and Indian. So we have to basically get into the database here, but you haven't gotten into the database here in this Oracle one.
This is the means when you're writing this query, no, so directly this will be saved in the Oracle database. That is a separate scenario that if you're working in project, you have to create a separate database. In that database, you have to create a schema, and then you
Yeah.
have to store that. Okay, so that part I'm not doing it here. Directly, this will be
Okay.
saved in the database, because those database creation and the schema creation will be taken care by the admin team. Okay, that's not a
Okay.
big deal. You should know this, that how to create table, how to insert data.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I think someone was asking question. Pooja, your voice is too low. I cannot hear clearly. Maybe your mic is far away.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's better. Please go ahead.
Okay. So I was asking regarding the varchar. I was
Ah,
my doubt is the varchar we are using here is for records? Is it the length of the records or the characters we can include in them?
okay, good question. So I thought of covering this in a separate session of data type, but let me cover it quickly. Just give me 1 minute. Suppose I'm creating a table input. Okay. In this table, I have a name column, and this is varchar. Suppose I will write here 5. Okay. Input table is already there. That's why it is throwing error message. Delete this table. If a table is already present, engine will not allow you to create that table again. This table is created. Now in this table, I will insert a record. So I have created a table input here. In this table, I have only one column, name. And I have inserted the name as John. Oh, sorry. So you could see in this input table, the John is inserted, right? Okay. Now in the same table, let me insert one more record, Michael. Why it is throwing error message? SQL engine is telling value is too large. Actual 7, maximum 5. Who will explain this?
Basically, it crosses the uh, count of character limit we set through the varchar. That was 5, and we are inserting Michael, which is 7 characters. That's why.
Okay. Anyone else who wants to give it a try?
Yeah, I have same explanation because we write the Valkyrie as the 5 character
Good.
and the Michael is more than 5.
Correct. Now see, here I have written name column. The data type is varchar 5. It means we are telling SQL engine that in this name column, maximum you can store on 5 characters. Don't go beyond that. When I was storing John, how many characters you have in John? 4 characters. J is 1 character, O is 2nd character, H is 3rd character, N is 4th character. You have 4 characters here. So this was inserted successfully. But when I was trying to insert Michael, how many characters you have in Michael?
7.
7 characters. So you have crossed the limit of 5 characters. That is why SQL engine is telling value is too large for the column input, for the column name in this input table. Actual is 7 characters, but maximum Tanvir we can store 5 characters. So now is this clear why I have written 50 here?
Yes, and also I have a question for.
Let me complete. Hold on. Let me complete first. So if you will write 5, it means it can accept maximum 5 characters. That is why on a safer side, in all the assignments, whatever we will give you, you will find it 50 here. Or in some questions, you will find it 100. That is why we recommend You keep it 50. I think Pooja has asked this question. Pooja, is this clear?
Yes, sir. This question is
Oh,
clear.
okay. Yeah, Mavia, go ahead.
Basically, for the int, we have inbuilt length of character. Am I correct?
For which one?
For the int, integer type int, we don't have to mention any
It
separate.
also
It is
it,
basically inbuilt, the
it
character
also
length.
has certain boundaries, but
Yeah.
explicitly you don't have to mention the number of characters in it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Basically, it's inbuilt character
Yes,
limit.
inbuilt.
Oh,
Yes.
oh.
Okay. What I was
So,
telling you.
sir, I have a question.
Yeah, Priyanka.
Sir, to insert those three rows, you have run the command 3 times.
Correct.
Can we insert it while running
Good
one
question. Good question.
command?
Good question. Priyanka has asked. So Priyanka is asking here that okay, fine. Tanvir, here you executed which one I've shown. Okay, here you have inserted these two records in Amazon table like a sports and clothing. So one by one, you inserted. First of all, you inserted this record, then you inserted this record. So Priyanka is asking, like, let's say Tanvir, I have 5 such records I have to insert. So can I do like this? Means I create a table script directly. Let's say I have this clothing is there, sports clothing, and what else was there? Electronics was there, no? Suppose I have one more sports, and this is also from Delhi, okay? And this is, let's say, electronics. And this is also from Delhi, suppose. So, and let me change this number as well. Let's say this is 8,000 and this is 9,000. Now, Priyanka is asking that, can we insert both the records at the same time? Yes, it is allowed. In that case, what you have to do, you select both of them, okay? Or maybe you can have 5 such records, 10 such records, 100 such records. You select all of them, then click on this run button. You see, I'm clicking on this. So both the rows are inserted, right? Now, if you will check the data in this Amazon table, check it. This record has been inserted. Is this clear, Priyanka?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, that was a good question. Any other question before I proceed further?
Tanvir, can we insert, like for every row we need to insert?
For each and
We need
every
to write a query for every row.
for each and every row, you have to write this query. There is one
Okay.
shortcut as well, like insert all into and then write the values. So we will discuss it down the line. Okay, we have that option as well. You see, many things are there, guys. So it's not possible that I serve you all the things at the same time, right? So that's what I'm trying to show one by one, step by step. Any other question?
So what is the limit of any limit of worker?
It has certain limits, I think 4,000 or 5,000 characters. I don't know the exact number, but it also depends on the database. Database to database, it varies.
But in case the worker character limit is above the 5,000,
Then you have
then
to
what
go for
about the-
blob data types, binary large objects. Okay. We'll discuss it. I will show you those examples as well.
We can do that comma thing as well, no? So that we can enter record in a single insert query.
Comma things. No, okay. One minute. Hold on. I've told that if you want to insert multiple records, we have that option of insert all into, and you can insert a lot of records at the same time. But intentionally, I'm not showing you that now. We'll discuss it down the line. Okay. Any question from this now? No. Okay. Chandra, you have a question? You have raised your hand? I think Chandra, any question? No, I think it's my mistake. Now, so here I have shown you the data in these 3 columns. Now, suppose in this Amazon table, let's say you have 50 columns, or if you have 100 columns, okay. So do you think you have to write all these columns names one by one? It will become very tedious task, right?
Yes.
So in those cases, what you can do, instead of writing all these column names, you can directly write a star here. Okay. This star means you are telling to the SQL engine that I want all the columns from the Amazon table. So this is a shortcut. Now you see you got all the columns now. I have just written a star. I have not mentioned the column names. So engine understood that, oh, user wants me to display all the columns, and I'm getting all the columns here. If your question is that, no, I want only categories column. So you just write categories here. So it will only display you the categories column. So you're getting only categories column. Yes. One more thing. When I was creating this Amazon table, so here this categories was in lowercase, correct? Now here how I have written this. This is all in uppercase. So that is what I told you, the column name, the table name. Okay, this reserved keywords like create, table, these are reserved keywords. So reserved keywords means the keywords which SQL engine has a special meaning. When you will write create, the SQL engine will understand that, oh, I have to create a table. That's a special meaning. That's why it is known as reserved keywords. Amazon, this is a table name. Categories, this is a column name. Transaction amount, this is a column name. Location, this is a column name. So the table name and the column names are known as user defined keywords. So here, if we will discuss what are the reserved keywords. So select is the reserved keyword. Create is the reserved keyword. Insert is the reserved keyword. Because when you will write create, engine will understand that you want to create a table. When you will write insert, engine will understand that you want to insert data. When you will write select, engine will understand that you want to display something. You want some data, right? So that's why these are known as reserved keywords. Then you have user defined keywords. Like table name, Amazon. This is user defined. Why this is user defined? Because user has full freedom to create a table with any name. Then the column names, categories, transaction amount, location. These all are user defined because it is you, the user, who can create a table with any name. You have full freedom to keep the column name anything. These are known as user defined keywords. So net, I was telling you here that these categories I have written in uppercase. So you have full freedom. You can write this in uppercase or lowercase. Similarly, this Amazon, you can write this in uppercase. Are you getting the same output? Hope this is clear so far.
Clear.
Okay. Now, suppose your client is telling you're working in a project and your client is telling that show me the data from this Amazon table, but the first column should be location, then show me the categories, then show me the transaction amount. Now see, I'm executing this query. You have the first column as location, second column as categories, third column is transaction amount. You might be thinking here that Tanvir, when you have created this Amazon table, the first column was categories, second column was transaction amount, the third column was location. Yes, I agree. But when you want to display the data, you have full freedom. You can display the data in any format. You have written location first, so the first column will be location. Then categories, the second column is categories. Then transaction amount, third column is transaction amount. So you have full freedom. You can customize it here as per the business requirement. Is this clear?
Yeah, clear.
Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now, suppose now the client is telling that, okay, fine, Tanveer, you have shown all this location categories and the transaction amount. Okay, that is fine. Perfect. Now, suppose the client is telling me that, no, I'm interested only in the sports categories records. I don't want to see the electronics records. Just show me the sports categories. So in this case, what you have to do, you have to apply filter. I think you all know what is a filter. This is a very common word these days, right? Even if you are doing shopping on any e-commerce platform, you will apply filter there, right? If you want to buy a mobile, you apply a filter like RAM, I want 8 GB, and then camera, I want this much pixels, right? And then the screen size 6" and all those things, right? In the world of database, when you have to apply filter, you have to use where keyword. Okay, so what is the task of where? Where acts as a filter. Okay, now on which column you have to apply filter here? The location column, categories column, or the transaction amount column? Can anyone answer this?
Any column we want to, basically.
Any column?
Sir,
Someone with the
categories
name
column.
Filter.
Oppo, I know you are speaking, you're trying to speak, but we are not able to hear you. I'm very sorry.
What's the requirement?
1 minute, let me mute everyone. Now, I was getting some background noise, so I muted everyone. If you want to speak, you can unmute and you can speak. The requirement, the question is, my client is telling me that Tanvir, show me the records of his sports categories only. Okay. He's not interested in electronics data. He is telling me that show me the sports categories data only. So it means we have to apply filter. So
Categories. Yeah.
to apply filter, we have this where keyword. My question is on which
Categories.
categories we have to apply filter.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, which categories you want?
Sports.
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 So when you will run this query, the SQL engine will understand that in the Amazon table, user wants to filter the data in the categories column and he is looking for a sports only. Check the output. Is this the correct output?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
it
this
is.
is the query and this is the output. You all agree this is the correct output?
Yes.
Yes.
We are getting only a sports data, right? This was the
Yes.
requirement of the client. Okay, now let's try to understand how this query is getting executed internally by the SQL engine. There is a concept of SQL order of execution. Here you have first of all from, then you have joins, then you have where. 1 minute. Then you have group by, then you have having.
Order by.
No, order by will not come here. Then you have select, then you have distinct, then you have order by, then you have limit. Don't worry about it. You might be thinking what Tanveer started writing suddenly. Don't worry about it. I will tell you what is this. And this is something, if you will understand this, you will understand the world of SQL. Okay. When we are writing SQL query, any SQL query, so first of all, we will write select. Okay. But the way how the SQL executes the query is different. Before this, I want to tell you something. When I'm executing this query, I'm clicking on the run button. It is not like directly it will give you the output. SQL at the back end, the engine of SQL, it checks a lot of stuff there. Like suppose in this Amazon, let me remove N. What will happen if I will run this query? Tell me.
You get an error.
Throw an error.
This will throw an
Yeah.
error,
Throw
right?
an error.
Just throwing an error. So when you execute query, so first of all, the engine will check that this table exists in the database or not. So do you have this table Amazon in the table database? No. So when you execute the query, the engine will check that do you have this table present in the database? If it is not there, it will throw error message. Okay. Now, this example. What will happen if I will execute this query? Tell me.
I think it will throw an error.
See, this query has exactly the same thing. Just from Amazon, I have kept before select. What will happen?
Error.
This is also throwing error message, right? So I'm getting background noise. So when you execute a query at the backend, SQL engine will check whether the table name is correct or not. The syntax is correct or not. So like we have written from first here, then select. So this is not allowed. This is incorrect syntax. So engine will check first of all these things. Then it will execute your query. And after that, what happens? Engine, after checking this, whether the table name is correct, the column name is correct, the syntax is correct or not, then engine will start with this from keyword. I know this might be surprising for you because you might be thinking then where you have written select first, then why engine will start with from first? But yes, engine will start with the from keyword first. So first of all, this from keyword will be executed by the SQL engine. Now, what is the meaning of this? The meaning of this is we are telling SQL engine that we want some data from the Amazon table. Okay. Then the SQL engine will search this Amazon table in the database and it will take a copy of it in the temporary memory. Because the SQL engine will understand that, oh, user wants data from this table. So from part is clear to everyone? From means you are telling SQL engine from which table you want data. So the SQL engine will search for this table. It will take a copy of it and it will keep that in the temporary memory. Then after from, the where will be executed. Joins is not there in this query, so I will not discuss about the joins now. Then you have where. So then where will be executed. What is the task of where keyword?
To filter out things.
To filter the data. Where is to filter the data. So the moment engine will see where, it will understand that, oh, user wants to filter out some data. Now on which column?
Both. Oh, sorry, categories.
Categories column. So the engine will understand that the user wants to filter some data in this categories column. Try to understand each and every step. This is very important. And this will help you to write complex SQL queries. I know many of you have this concern that I know SQL, but I fail to write complex queries. It is because you don't know the in and out, the nut and bolt, that how the engine is executing queries. So where categories means you want to apply filter on this categories columns. Then engine will see what value you want to filter out. So you have mentioned here sports. So the engine will understand that, oh, in this categories column, user wants to filter out sports data. So it will start row by row. It will check the first row. Is this a sports? Yes, it is a sports. So this will be selected. Next record, is this a sports? No, this is electronics. You're looking for a sports. So this will be selected or rejected?
Rejected.
This will be rejected. Then engine will go to the next record. This is clothing. You are searching for a sports. So this will be selected or rejected? Rejected. This will also be rejected. So now the where task is done. Where is over. Then select will come into picture. What is the task of select keyword? What I have told you.
Pulling up the data.
Good. Select is to display. So the engine will see here select and star. The engine will understand that user wants to display star means all the columns. So engine will copy these columns and the selected record. This record has been selected. Okay. I think, okay, this is not the Amazon table. No, I was having one more record, right? 1 minute. I've inserted one more record, right? So these all records we have in this Amazon table. So this is a sports and this is a sports. So these two records it will copy and it will display here. So that is why these two records are getting displayed in the output. So hope you understood how the engine executes the query. Is this clear?
Yeah, and what that is on you wrote on the
Sorry,
R column, you wrote on just
I
right after the joins.
ignore this.
R16,
I'm
R16.
I'm not covered joints. No, ignore it.
Okay,
Forget
okay.
about
That is
for the
part of
time.
on is
Ah,
part of joins. That
correct.
okay.
On is a part of joints. Yes,
Okay.
ignore it. Mavya, you know the basics of SQL little bit?
Yeah, basic through the
Okay.
YouTube.
I can
Yeah.
understand that. Okay, good. No problem. So is this clear so far to everyone? How to apply filter and how the engine executes the query? Any question here?
Arun, I have one
Can you hear
question.
me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Arun, in the right side, you wrote SQL order execution, right?
Yes.
So from to limit, it's the order or it's a randomly written?
No. This is the order based on this SQL will execute your query. First
Okay.
of all, it will pick from. That is why first I have picked from. I told you that it will take the
Okay.
Amazon table.
Okay.
Then joins is not there in this query, so I'm ignoring
Okay.
joins. Then you
So
have where.
second priority is the join.
Ha.
Third priority
Yeah.
is the where. Like
Correct.
hey,
Yes, you're right. This is the preference or the priority, how the engine executes the query. Okay, and once you understand this all, it means, yeah.
Okay, in the sixth place we have a select.
Yes.
So in that way, first it will search the from it will not take from the left to right. For
Left
example,
to
the SQL
right.
query is select star from Amazon, right? If as per your word, from is the first
Correct.
SQL will pick means the select will be run in second execution.
No, third. As per this query, select will be the third one.
Third, yeah.
First one will be the from, then where, then select.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Can we see anywhere this order, Tanvir, in SQL document or somewhere?
Sorry, can you repeat your question, Chandra?
Order, like maybe a little. I don't know. Maybe going forward we may remember, but now do we need to refer any SQL document to see the order?
Nothing. You don't have to refer anything. Whatever I'm covering here, no, this will be shared in the class. After each and every class, whatever I'm doing in this Excel sheet, this will be shared with you. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay, thank you.
That is what I've shown in the very beginning, that this document Excel sheet, this classroom coding, whatever I'm showing, this two, third is the assignment, fourth is the recording. These 4 documents will be shared with you after each and every class. And you don't have to mug up anything. This order of execution, at least I think more than 500 times we will discuss in this course. If you want, take a guarantee for it. So don't worry that you have to mug up anything. No, everything will be logical. Okay. Is this query clear?
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead. Sai.
For example, if we have 10,000 records in the database, so will it pick all the 10,000 records and put it in a temporary memory?
So here it again depends on the different architecture. In temporary memory, if I am telling, if you will keep in the temporary memory, so it will not stay here. Once the engine will show you the final output, it will clean the temporary memory. It is like everything will be deleted from the temporary memory, right? It is exactly like suppose you want to cook something in the kitchen. Once you have cooked it, you have to clean the kitchen, right?
Right.
So this temporary memory is like a kitchen of the SQL. It will do everything here. And then once it will give the output to the user, it will clean everything. Everything will be cleaned from here. So your question is valid that then in that case, the temporary memory will be filled, right? I think you're thinking maybe this one,
Right,
but no, it will keep on cleaning it.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Yeah. Now, Is this clear so far?
Sir, this is a sufficient for the any development job or data engineer or data analyst.
Can you repeat your question? Sorry, not understood.
This SQL batch is sufficient for the any development job or data analyst or data engineer.
See, this job profiles which I have written here, no? For this job profile, it is more than enough. If you're planning for data engineer or SQL ETL developer, it is good if apart from SQL, if you learn the PL SQL as well. Okay. But for this job profiles, it is my course SQL is more than enough. It is sufficient. Okay. Because sometime in data engineer, they can ask you questions from PL SQL as well. That is functions, procedures, and we have a separate batch for it. Earlier, we used to cover in the SQL itself, but then many participants, there is a concern that Tanvir in data analyst, it is not required. So why we are learning this? So that's why we segregated that batch of PL SQL. Any other question?
But in this case, sir, development is not here. It's Java development or
Java is different, Rehan.
okay.
Java is different. Okay. In Java, if you're working at the backend, then SQL will be required there.
Yeah. In backend Java, this SQL is
Correct.
sufficient.
Then this will be required there. You are right. Okay. Now, I thought of covering few more concepts here, but I think we don't have sufficient time. Okay, so I will stop here, and we sharply stop at 9 because I know many of you have your official commitment. You have to travel to office, so we'll stop at 9. So now we will share this all these things whatever is in S20 group. But from tomorrow onwards, we will be having a target group. Those who are interested, they will make the payment. They will share the screenshot. From tomorrow, we will share the meeting invite in the target group only. So those who are interested, if you think that this course will help you, okay, I have told you each and everything clearly. What is there in the scope, what is not there in the scope. I don't want to keep anyone in dark. So if you're interested in the S20 group, you could see admin is there. You can connect with us and then you can register for the course and then you can join the classes from tomorrow. Thanks a lot, everyone, for attending and spending your valuable 2 hours. I really appreciate it. It matters a lot. And connect with us if you need any other clarification. So those who wants to drop, you can drop. We will share the recording, everything in the group. And if you have any question, you can please go ahead and ask.
Yeah, Tanvir.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for the lesson. It was like it will be helpful for us.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Yeah, same. Thanks for the session.
Thanks a lot, everyone.
Also, is there any weekend batch something?
Weekend batch, last week we have completed one batch. So next batch will start in the month of April.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Month of April, first or second week of April. It will be weekend, Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, evening 9 to 10. 9 to 10 or 9 to 10:30.
Okay. Got it.
Any other question?
There is any in PLSQL also. I have some knowledges in SQL. Okay, not as deep. Okay,
okay.
But this concept I can write a query and I can able to do that. Okay. Whether the PLSQL, can I join in PLSQL for I have a doubt on that.
See, these all are the topics which we cover in the PLSQL. Currently, one PLSQL batch is going on, but almost 50% we have covered there. If you want, you can join it. We will share the recording of the classes, whatever is missed. Okay, but it's purely your call. Okay.
Okay.
But I strongly recommend everyone to join the live class because the feeling is different. You'll be having that, okay, I'm attending the live class. You'll be attentive. Okay, you'll be punctual. You have full freedom to ask any question. That's a benefit. But your wish, if you want, you can join it. So, but for PL SQL, my strong recommendation to everyone, first of all, learn the SQL, then go for PL SQL. And if you're preparing for data engineer or SQL developer, ETL developer, then go for PL SQL. For this job profiles, PL SQL is not that much important.
Okay.
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 And even in the current PL SQL batch, I'm not sure we can enroll you because almost we have 75 or something number of participants. Okay. That's why now in each and every batch, we are keeping that maximum 30, 40 participants. First come, first serve basis.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Any other question?
Tanvir, what is difference between the SQL and PL SQL? Actually, I have joined the class very late.
Okay.
Actually, I haven't seen the.
Oh, fine. At a very high level, I will tell you because maybe if you don't know the SQL, it will be difficult for me as well to explain you the difference. SQL is a query language where you can extract data. Okay, but on top of that data, like if you have studied any other programming language, let's say C or Java, Unix or Python, so there you have that looping concepts, right? You have for loop, while loop, you have if else conditions, you have oops concepts, right? But those things are not present in SQL. SQL is only for extracting data, processing data, manipulating data, updating data, deleting data. So on top of this, the PL SQL will give you the looping parts, how you can create a for loop, you can create a while loop, you can have if else condition, you can have case condition, you can have cursors. Okay, that's why we go for PL SQL on top of it. But once you will learn SQL, PL SQL will be very easy for you. It will be like a cakewalk for you. It will be very easy. But if you don't know SQL, I'm telling for everyone, don't go directly for PL SQL. It will become difficult. Always follow a disciplined approach for anything. I'm doing this for everyone. Okay, disciplined approach is very important. Okay, any other question?
Yeah, Tanvir.
Yes.
Yeah, for PL SQL, how many months it will take to finish?
25 to 30 hours because my SQL course, this one, it is approx 45 to 50 hours. I know many of you will be thinking that then we some trainer I have seen they can teach in 20 hours, 25 hours. I totally agree. But how we teach is each and every keyword, we will tell you in detail, in depth, how the engine is executing the query, where a query will fail, because each and every keyword, they have the limitations as well, the misconceptions in SQL, the performance aspects. So that is why the SQL alone will take 45 hours, I think. PL SQL will take approx 25 hours. Okay. And my Python batch, it takes approx 50 to 55 hours. Any other question?
Power BI and Tableau.
Power BI new batch will start from 14th of March. Tableau, I need to check. Yesterday we have announced. I will check and I will update in the group. I think in your group as well, our admin Firdaus has shared the Tableau details. Maybe we will share it again, not an issue.
Advanced Excel.
Advanced Excel, I need to check, Mahesh. I will update you.
Python?
Python, first or second week of April.
Second week of?
April, next month. Yes.
And PLSQL was taught by you only or your teammates?
I take care of SQL, PL SQL, and Python and ETL. ETL, we are not starting in a new batch as of now. Maybe after 2 to 3 months, we will start.
Okay. But PLSQL and Python was taught by you only?
Correct. SQL, PL SQL, Python. I take care of it. For Python, we have one more trainer. Danish sir is there.
And
he also teaches Python.
And who teaches Power BI? Can you
Power BI, we have Pawan. He's a very good trainer. And for each and every course, we strongly recommend our participants to attend the demo session first. If you're convinced with the demo, then go ahead. Okay. So Power BI, we have 14th March. It is Monday to Friday morning, 7 to 8. And few of the recordings are there in our YouTube channel as well. You can refer that. If you think that
Power
yes,
BI instructor surname is
Pawan.
Surname.
Pawan A.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I thought Lagavani.
No, Pawan A.
Okay.
Any other question, anyone? No? Okay. Fine then, guys. Thanks a lot for your time. Really appreciate it. So we will connect tomorrow at the same time, and the participants who will enroll for the course, we will add you in the target group, and we'll share the meeting invite tomorrow. Tomorrow's class will also be conducted on Zoom, and all this materials, whatever we have covered, we'll share in the generic group, including the recording. Today's recording will take some time, maybe 2 to 3 hours, because we will upload that on the YouTube. Okay, and if you have any question, you please connect with us. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.